Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we are going to be talking about the two LD units that are going to be dropping alongside with the Emperor and Snow, which is going to be Lyse and Balthier. Now both of these two characters are going to be getting their C90s, a small rework, but Lyse, she will finally be getting her LD weapon. But are any of these two LD only units worth chasing for in the upcoming banners? We're going to be talking about all of that in this video, let you know how I feel about both of these two units and if it's worth chasing for now, or if you want to wait for a future banner to pull for their LDs if you don't have a Balthier per se. So yeah guys, let me know what your plans are going to be down in the comment section below. And once again, if you guys want to support the channel even further beyond, it only costs $1 and it grants you access to the membership status badge. It grants you access to emotes, and it also gives you a random shout out, which I will be doing here very soon. So if you want to support the channel a little bit further and help me, I'd greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we'll first start off with Balthier's rework to his LD extension, which now allows him to start off with 3 stacks of his overhead at the start of a quest. And his first turn gives him a free ability use. It turns his attack into a 6-hit AoE ranged brave, plus an AoE HP attack 3 times that allows for 180% stolen max brave overflow. His overhead lets only himself retain 30% of brave on HP attacks, regardless of the rule at 5 stacks that passes on his overhead auras to his teammates. With his C90, he now starts off a quest with 3 stacks of the Way of the Sky Pirate buff. His EX ability now turns into a 5-hit AoE ranged brave plus an AoE HP attack 3 times. His C65 got extended to 6 turns, sets targets brave to 0 unless they are broken, increases brave by reduced amount, and increases brave gain to 50% of the max brave. It also adds a 10% attack up totaling 30%, and a 30% brave damage cap up. Now with Lyse, her rework to her skill 1 gains an additional 3 uses. It turns into a 6-hit AoE melee brave, plus an AoE HP attack 3 times that increases brave by 50% of the HP damage dealt after each HP attack except for the last. Her skill 2, when using Riddle of Fire, increases party brave gain to 100% of her attack and does not consume ability use. When she uses Fire Tackle, it increases party brave gain to 100% of attack, then deals a 2-hit melee brave, plus an HP attack 4 times that increases brave by 50% of the HP damage dealt after each HP attack except for the last. With her C90, her EX ability Brother and the Forbidden Chakra increases party brave gain by 100% of her attack, then deals a 2-hit AoE melee brave plus an AoE HP attack 5 times that increases brave by 50% of the HP damage dealt after each HP attack except for the last. The Plus version deals an additional 2 HP dumps totaling 7, and you'll need 5 stacks of her overhead to access the Plus version. Her Purification ability, which is changed from her Brave Attack command, that is granted once you reach 5 stacks on her overhead, increases brave gain to 150% of attack, and extends active buffs by 1 turn and active Fist of Fire buff by 2 turns, and for the next 2 turns increases her HP damage by 40% and gives her a free ability use, but it does consume all 5 stacks of her overhead. Her C65 got extended to 6 turns and adds a 25% attack up totaling 40% and a 40% brave damage cap up. Her LD ability, Way of the Will and Triple Threat, increases party brave by 200% of attack, grants the Way of the Will buff for 6 turns, and triggers the ability extension follow-up Triple Threat. Now Triple Threat is a 3-hit AoE melee brave plus a single target HP attack 5 times that increases brave gain to 50% of the HP damage dealt after each HP attack except for the last, and deals 20% splash damage after each HP attack. And then finally, her LD buff provides the party with a 20% stolen max brave overflow up, a 30% brave damage up, 20% HP damage up, 30% brave damage resist up, a 20% HP damage resist up, and a 20% defense up. So is Balthier and or Lyse worth chasing for in the upcoming BT banners. Now we're going to talk about Balthier. A lot of players probably have Balthier, so they're going to be getting a free upgrade, but for those who may not have it or just recently started playing the game, Balthier is the only character really that steals enemy buffs and keeps them to himself, which is actually kind of funny because like there can be like certain buffs where Balthier can actually take advantage of that could potentially benefit the party as well if possible. So that's one of the biggest like things about Balthier is just that he's able to steal all of the buffs. Aside from that though, he does have the ability to be able to cleanse his own debuffs with his EX ability, and then with his LD ability he is able to cleanse all of the debuffs for the entire party. Now his overhead does provide a little bit of party ores, but nothing too crazy. But Balthier is kind of like that unique character where he is very situational, so he's not a character that I feel like is worth chasing for now, because he does get an FR weapon in a Heretics event in the future, and he does get another rework. So you know, to avoid to avoid not wasting any resources and whatnot, unless he is a favorite to you, I would say just pass up on him, because like he will probably be rarely used for any future fights. But hey, I could be wrong. You guys can let me know down in the comment section below, because I can't remember everything. So now, Lyse, on the other hand, is a character that is actually not a bad character when you really look at her kit and whatnot. As an LD only unit, she actually does some pretty good damage, and in the future, she does get another rework and force enhancements, making it so that she can actually deal some much higher damage. I mean, like, she has the brave hits, she has the HP dump, like she actually does have the HP dump, so she can actually dish out some very good damage. And especially if you have been focusing on maxing out the Fist Ultima weapon, then expect Lyse to be dealing some very good numbers for an LD only unit. But aside from that though, some of the key things to note about Lyse is that she does recover a good amount of brave in between HP attacks, which of course will equal higher damage output from her. The other thing is that she will be able to provide some brave to the party with certain skills, which is another positive thing. And then finally, her LD buff, having those great ores that she already is that she has now, is not that bad for a third slot character. If you're trying to add in a character that let's say has a mix of DPS but also has a little bit of mix when it comes to ores for the party, you know, something like that is how I would count Lyse as a character. Now, one of the biggest things that I will say that she does get in the future is related to her LD buff. Her LD buff gets a big upgrade in the amount of party ores that she is going to be providing here soon to global default. Like, she provides a whole lot more. Like, they add more to what she is already getting now, plus they added some additional party ores as well, like one of them being preventing KO for your party as long as HP is 50% or above. Like, that's actually very good. She also prevents break as well, which is very solid. And then when it comes to her overhead, because her overhead stacks goes up to 5, and that is how it's going to be on global, but in the future when she gets another rework, she is going to be lowering that condition to 3 stacks, making it much more easier to access that purification command that changes from a brave command. So yeah, Lyse is a very solid character. Like I said, you could pull for her LD now, or you can get it in the future, like whenever her LD does come back with the Dorgon event, but that's going to be a good couple of months from now until that event drops to global default. So if you are pulling on the Snow banner, and if you manage to get Lyse's LD weapon, she's actually not a bad character to actually build up if you do manage to get it while chasing for Snow. So other than that though, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for the video. Let me know what your guys' plans are going to be for these 2 LD only units. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.